Done deal. Barcelona's Inigo Martinez agrees, shock move to Al Nassr. Hello everyone, my name is Jack. Welcome back again to our channel. I'm here to deliver every update on football news. Like and subscribe. Don't forget to leave your thoughts in the comment section. Inigo Martinez has now reportedly agreed to leave Barcelona and join Saudi Pro League side before the start of the new 2025-26 La Liga season. In a transfer that has seemingly come out of nowhere, Martinez will head to the Middle East, in a move that will free up significant room on the wage bill and potentially pave the way for Barca to register Joan Garcia. Martinez has apparently been given permission by Barca to miss training and seal the deal, with Fabrizio Romano already giving the rumor the "here we go" treatment. Romano says that Martinez is terminating his contract early, although Romano has claimed he's going in a transfer worth around €5 to 10 million. The defender is said to have received a great offer, and Barcelona are willing to let him leave as they are well stocked for some. The defender is said to have received a great offer, and Barcelona are willing to let him leave as they are well stocked for some. Financially, it's probably a good deal for all involved, but there's no doubt at all that Barcelona will be losing a real character and a true leader on and off the pitch. Martinez had been tipped to join the captaincy group ahead of the start of the season, with Kubarsi admitting recently he'd make a good captain. Instead, it seems he's heading off for a new challenge in the Middle East. FC Barcelona have had yet another dramatic day in the summer transfer window. After the club initially stripped Marc-Andre ter Stegen of the captaincy, it later emerged that Inigo Martinez could leave the club and join Al Nassr. The Spanish defender, who had been such a key member of Hansi Flick's squad last season, seems to have reached the end of the road as a Barcelona player. It looks like he is set to see out the final stages of his career in the Saudi Pro League. Now, as per Italian journalist Fabrizio Romano, everything is agreed for Inigo to join Al Nassr, and he is given his patented "here we go." The Spaniard will be joining the SPL side on a free transfer, which means Barcelona won't profit financially from the move. One of the reasons Barcelona may have agreed to this exit is the potential benefit it could bring in terms of player registrations. The 34-year-old is one of the highest earners in the Barcelona squad. Having arrived on a free transfer a couple of seasons ago from Athletic Bilbao, his exit could now help the club register some of their new signings. What this means is that Pau Kubarsi is set to have a new partner in the center of defense for the 2025-26 season. The current options are Ronald Araujo and Andreas Christensen, although Gerard, Martin, Eric Garcia, and Jules Kound can also play in that position. Inigo had a brilliant 2024-25 season at the Catalan club, and it is a shame that he is leaving. It may be that the offer from Al Nassr was simply too tempting to turn down from a financial perspective for the Basque defender. However, Barcelona fans will have nothing but fond memories of the Spanish veteran, and one wishes him well in the next stage of his career. Report reveals why Barcelona are letting Inigo Martinez leave for free. It has already been confirmed by reliable journalists that Inigo Martinez will leave Barcelona this summer. Out of the blue, the Spaniard will be joining Saudi Arabian side Al Nassr as a free agent. Still, many are confused by this sudden move and why Barcelona are allowing him to leave for free, but there appears to be an answer to everyone's questions. According to the information provided by Mundo Deportivo, the real reason that Barca has allowed Martinez to leave for free is due to a pre-existing gentleman's agreement between the club and the veteran defender. In fact, the report claims this agreement was reached last season. Barcelona had an agreement with Martinez. The player had previously received a tempting offer from Saudi Arabia, but he turned it down at the time and trusted the project being built by Hansi Flick. However, he reached an agreement with Barca that if a new offer similar to that one were to arrive again, then he would accept it and wanted the club to create no hurdles for his exit. Barca reportedly agreed to this, and it seems that they have kept their word. Unfortunately, there appears to be no transfer fee involved in this move. Still, the club has reportedly managed to free up €12 million in terms of fair play margin with his exit. Yet, it remains true that Hansi Flick is losing one of his most trusted soldiers. Despite his age, Martinez is a top defender and continuously showcased his ability to perform at the highest level last season. Without a doubt, this is a move that hurts the club on the pitch. Thanks for watching. Like and subscribe. Alexander Isak back training at Newcastle amid uncertain future. Hello everyone, my name is Jack. I'm here to deliver every update on football news. Like and subscribe. Don't forget to leave your thoughts in the comments section. Alexander Isak has returned to Newcastle United's training ground after spending time working alone at his former club, Real Sociedad Zubida base. Catching Magpies head coach Eddie Howe by surprise, the 25-year-old Sweden international escaped a self-imposed reclusion in Tyneside to train independently in Spain. Making it quite obvious that he's not injured, he flew to Spain to train on his own while Newcastle's squad continued their preseason tour in Asia. Isak's now back in the UK, ahead of the club's final preseason fixtures and the start of the Premier League campaign later this month, although he might never put on the black and white stripes again. Isak's return follows Newcastle's rejection of Liverpool's £110 million offer for the striker. But the Reds are expected to return with an improved offer once the Magpies sign Isak's replacement, whether that's RB, Leipzig's Benjamin Sesko, or Brentford's Yoane Wissa. Despite the transfer saga and Isak's clear-cut interest in leaving, the club has continued to publicly support him, or at least not bash him publicly to protect the relationship and eventually in a miraculous-looking development, welcome him back to the squad. Speaking from Seoul on Saturday, Howe admitted he learned about Isak's whereabouts through the media. "I know where he is, really, through the media," Howe said. "From that perspective, it's difficult for me to go into any kind of detail. The situation is far from ideal and is quite complex." Newcastle still believe they can retain Isak and have reportedly offered a contract extension with a potential release clause for next summer. But it's unclear if that offer was the one already rejected by Isak and his camp, or if this is a new proposal presented by NUFC. Isak has 3 years left on his current deal, but he's making it tough for Newcastle to hold on to him that long. Liverpool will return with the British record bid for Alexander Isak, but only when Newcastle secure a replacement for their prolific striker, as the Swede returns to. Liverpool have not walked away from a deal for Alexander Isak and will submit a second offer should Newcastle make progress on signing the striker's replacement. The Premier League champions had a £110 million formal bid rejected on Friday, with subsequent claims from Merseyside that they would not be returning to the table. However, Mail Sport understands that is not the case, and as Newcastle press ahead with deals for RB Leipzig's Benjamin Sesko and Brentford's Yoane Wissa, they anticipate a much improved approach from the Anfield club. Liverpool know it's pointless to make an offer while Newcastle awaits Sesko's decision, with Man United also keen. Newcastle made a £65.5 million offer for the Slovenian on Saturday, totaling £70 meters and 8 ons, but sources say Leipzig will likely wait until the 22-year-old has communicated his own wishes before negotiating with either club. Meanwhile, there is still confidence that Wissa's move from Brentford will go through once the London club find their own replacement. Should the dominoes start to fall, then Liverpool will return with a British record offer for Isak. They have been told it will take closer to £150 million for Newcastle to do a deal. But the fact they are pursuing the likes of Sesko would suggest the hierarchy are contemplating the sale of Isak. The Swede was returning to Tyneside on Saturday after spending last week using the training facilities at former club Real Sociedad as he and his agent try to force a move to Liverpool. Eddie Howe revealed here in Seoul on Saturday that he only knew his player was in Spain through media reports, admitting the situation is far from ideal. The 25-year-old pulled out of the Far East tour after reporting a thigh injury. For now, Newcastle see no reason why Isak will not return to training with his teammates next week, even though it would appear his decision to head to San Sebastian was not sanctioned by his club. "I know where he is, really, through the media," Howe told Mail Sport. "From that perspective, it's difficult for me to go into any kind of detail. The situation is far from ideal and is quite complex." Of Liverpool's opening offer, Howe said, "I was made aware of a bid yesterday Friday, and that bid was turned down, all before I'd even heard about it. People back in England are dealing with the situation. I don't know what happens next. From our perspective, we still support Alex in every way, and my wish is that we see him in a Newcastle shirt again. There is some sympathy for Isak inside Newcastle, with the feeling he has been badly advised." And when asked if Liverpool had unsettled his star player, Howe said, "It's difficult, because you don't know what is going to happen from this point. We can only deal with the reality. The reality is we had a first bid from Liverpool, and I believe that was turned down. From this point onwards, let's see what happens, in terms of trying to upset players and all that kind of stuff. From my perspective, we can only talk about our conduct. We try to do things in the right way. Signing players is always complex. We just try to do what we think is right. I can't talk about other clubs. That's not for me to say. Thanks for watching. Like and subscribe. Eddie Howe hopeful striker will remain at Newcastle, but admits his future is uncertain. Eddie Howe is hopeful Alexander Isak will remain at the club, but has admitted the striker's future is uncertain. Isak has informed the club he wants to explore his options. Liverpool have shown an interest in Isak, but have also signed forward Hugo Ekitike for £79 million this summer. Newcastle boss Eddie Howe hopes Alexander Isak will stay at the club, but has admitted his future at St James Park is uncertain. Isak has informed Newcastle that he wants to explore his options this summer and is not part of the Magpies squad for their preseason tour of Singapore. While he is also managing a minor thigh injury, there has not been an official or formal transfer request to date. And while there have been conversations about a new contract at Newcastle in the last few months, at this stage, nothing has been agreed. The Sweden international has 3 years remaining on his contract at the club, who have put a £150 million valuation on the forward's head. Liverpool are thought to still admire Isak, despite signing Hugo Ekitike. He is now in Newcastle, getting his injury assessed. Hopefully he will be back soon and playing in the black and white shirt. That's what we want to see. Howe said in his press conference ahead of the preseason friendly against Arsenal on Sunday afternoon. Of course there are things going on behind the scenes. Conversations that happen between Alex and ourselves, and Alex and the club, will stay private. He is very popular in the dressing room and would love him to continue his journey at Newcastle. There are no contract talks taking place. That will be for a later date, potentially. I certainly hope he stays. It's football. Who knows what the future will bring? How Isak's situation is not a distraction. Howe was then questioned about whether Isak's situation is disrupting the preseason preparations for his side, who play 5 friendlies before facing Aston Villa in their season opener on August 16th, with the Newcastle boss insisting the saga was not a distraction. I don't think we are distracted. We are here and we are focused, he continued. I have experienced it many times. I've sold players throughout my managerial career. There is a wider picture. There is a football club that has to make the decision. Whatever happens has to be right for Newcastle. We are in a strong position financially and are determined to be successful. I wouldn't put a time scale on it. It has to be right for the football club, and they will make the right decision with all the information they have. It's up to us to make good decisions the other way and to improve the squad, regardless of Alex's situation. We want stability and the group to have a really good feeling. How? We need reinforcements, but the window is challenging. While Isak's future bubbles away behind the scenes, Newcastle are actively searching for further reinforcements to bolster Howe's squad for the 2025-26 season. However, the 47-year-old has commented on how challenging the market currently is due to prices skyrocketing and the limited pool of players. The Magpies secured the £55 million signing of Anthony Elanga from Nottingham Forest earlier in the window, but have since missed out on Ekitike to Liverpool, with goalkeeper target James Trafford also looking set to join Manchester City. The window is challenging for us. We have multiple players that we are looking at across multiple positions. Howe said in his press conference ahead of the preseason friendly against Arsenal in Singapore on Sunday. Other clubs will say the same. It is a challenging window as prices are going up and the pool of players is smaller. We are actively in the market. We are looking. We need to do business and need to bring players in. With all the games we will have, we need the options and depth. It's a totally different campaign in the Champions League. I hope we can bring players in, and not just players, but ones that can make a difference. We won't stop until the window shuts. Newcastle are set to move on to other targets, with a deal for Brentford striker Johan Wissa currently looking unlikely. Newcastle have been told to significantly up their offer or walk away from the transfer, much to the frustration of Wissa and his representatives, who've made it clear he only wants to join them. Eddie Howe's side had a bid of £25 million turned down and were willing to up their offer. Wissa feels he may not get the chance to play Champions League football again. Newcastle were lining up Wissa to be second choice to RB Leipzig striker Benjamin Sesko if Alexander Isak was to leave the club. Brentford boss Keith Andrews said on Friday night that Wissa will return to training with the squad next week. He has gone back to London. It was his decision, obviously because of speculation. Andrews told the official Brentford media team after his first game in charge of the Bees against Gil Vicente ended in a 1-1 draw. There are clubs interested and he felt it was the right thing to go back to London. It's simple, really. He folds back into the group next week when we come back to training. Thanks for watching. Like and subscribe.